How's it going, guys? Gary here, just talking about amp sizes again, because a couple of my pals are like really into the massive amps, and I'm just like, I'm still the guy that's like getting a huge sound out of a Blues Junior, and I'm looking into other amps that I can get the same massive sound out of at a smaller scale. And I think the one I'm looking at right now is the Marshall. Uh, yeah, surprisingly, Marshall combo, which is a 40C. What was it called? The DSL 40C. And the other one was the Fender Vibrochamp or Princeton. But I'm gonna have to check those out. Like with the Marshall, it's totally not really my ballpark. So I just think trying that amp out would be a good thing anyway, and then I can make up my mind from there on. But honestly, guys, it comes down to speakers. If you love your guitar and you love the sound of it through anything, and it's probably because you love the pickups. You know, the pickups are really a major part of that. If you love the feel, that's because of the neck. If you love the reliability, it's because of the tuners and the bridge and all the stability that those things bring. And obviously, the electrics are a different thing. I would hope you would have like good electrics in your guitar if you're playing live anyway. But when it comes to uh, amps, I just think you just can't go wrong with a vintage 30, like a Celestion V30. It's just the best. For me, I mean, I don't really play heavy music, and I don't play anything cool like jazz, you know. So I play everything from like blues to like Rage Against the Machine. But even my little Blues Junior can cover all of that because of the vintage speaker. And I have another Blues Junior, which I'm selling right now, which has a Celestian greenback in it. But it just, I've tried it live and it's in that middle bit, and I love it. And you guys might be able to get the same juice out of it that I do with my other one. But yeah, I think I'm going to try a Marshall combo, and it's the Marshall DSL 40C, because I'm starting to get into humbuckers again. You know about humbuckers. You know, like they even a even a Telecaster with humbuckers sounds huge. Like it sounds like I've got this new Squire Telecaster. A lot of you are going to be like, "Fucking Squire, blah blah blah, whatever." Have you tried these? The paranormal troublemakers? Jesus Christ, man! I got this one as a swap guitar in Glasgow for a ah, fucking hell. What did I put in? It was a Fender FSR cherry top Telecaster, Indonesian, and I'll tell you what, I'm quite happy with the swap. I lost a bit of money on it. If I'm totally honest, I probably lost about 200 quid because I didn't do a private sale. I just went with wherever they were offering us. But Andy always does me a good turn in there. So I feel like I got a good deal considering what you've always got to realize that whatever gear you're selling, you're done with, right? So whatever gear you're buying has got more value to you anyway. Hopefully, you know. Sometimes you get stung and you realize that the gear you're about to buy, you don't know it at the time, but months down the line you realize, oh, this is a piece of shit. But at the time, I had a bit of chance to check out the gear that I was buying or what I was swapping this thing for. But the fact of the matter was, like, I didn't give a fuck what happened to the guitar that I was getting rid of, even though it was a great guitar. The Fender FSR Telecaster with the carved top, and it was my one was a cherry burst, and it had two Duncan designed split coil pickups in it. And I'd borrowed and played one before, but this one was just like it must have been years later in the production line because it just wasn't that good. So I swapped it for a Squire Telecaster Paranormal Troublemaker, right? The one with the gold pickups. Played it in the last video. Well, I showed you in the last video. I haven't played it yet. But my problem is I'm not used to playing humbuckers, right? So I've got that Tom DeLonge um, style Strat copy, which I put together myself. Well, I didn't put it together. I bought all the parts and I got my guy Ian to put it together. And it's still one of my desert island guitars. If that desert island had a market for pop punk, you know what I mean? It's just like that's what it does really, really well. And I'm not. I mean, even though it's only a Tom DeLonge, even though it's a Tom DeLonge copy of a signature, it still does all that pop punk, like everything from Kerrang, like all the way from like Bowl Soup, Limp Bizkit, Newfound Glory. It does a great Foo Fighters, and it does an amazing all the way up to Limp Bizkit. And I'll tell you why: the Invader pickup, you just can't lose when you're playing anything from like pop punk all the way up to new metal. Just get an Invader and chuck it in the bridge. I don't even give a fuck what guitar you're talking about. Just chuck it in there on the bridge, and it'll be great. Not so much for cleans. You've got to really watch what you're doing with cleans because I never really enjoy playing clean on humbuckers anyway, and that's why I would never take a humbucker guitar to, let's just say, a wedding gig or a corporate, because you've got to cover a lot of bases. I think humbuckers, especially Invaders, really high output humbuckers, they know what they are and they know what you want them to be. So you just go, right, okay, well, I'll just leave that one at home when I'm going to be playing Brown Eyed Girl or Tom Petty, stuff like that. I'm not putting Van Morrison and Tom Petty in the same league here. I'm just saying that Tom Petty stuff is very articulate, and it's like you can't really, you don't want to rock out too much with that stuff. You know what I mean? You still want to be rhythm and a little bit of country style kind of telly lead. But when it comes to pop punk, like anything from like Green Day, I mean, I'm obviously in the UK, so it's like Busted, McFly. Uh, we're talking about British bands here, but there's not really been anybody since then. Well, Sam Fender, where he plays a Fender. It's like Brad Paisley playing a Paisley Telecaster, isn't it? You know, it's almost like the guys from the Who. What's his name again? Fucking Pete Townsend. Are you sure it's not Pete Fenderend? Pete Towns Fender. I don't know. I'm just saying things to elicit, information. Anyway, I think I started this pod talking about amps, and now I'm talking about guitars, and now for some reason slagging off Townsend. I didn't mean to do that. Anyway, see you later.